And we're back, everyone. I am Unstable, joined here by Lirilian for this next game. It is going to be game number 2 of the losers match for group number B here. XpecIMHui versus TSLInori. The map is going to be Daybreak, of course. Let's get straight into it as we have Hui up here at the top right as our blue Protoss, of course, yet again. And of course, we have Inori down here at the bottom left as our red Protoss. So Inori taking game 1 in pretty much just textbook defense against Blink Stalker play coming out from Hui. Hui had a couple of chances to move in there, but he really just couldn't deal with the unit composition that came out from Inori. It was pretty much perfect to help deal with that. There's 1 or 2 Stalkers, 1 or 2 Sentries, Zealots, and then Immortals just completely shut him down and just couldn't hold off the counterattack. Even with a nice Void Ray transition, just didn't have enough time to let it really pay off. What do you think we're going to see this time then? Lirilian?
This time, well, that's always difficult to guesstimate, of course, but this is Daybreak, another one of those maps that, you know, favors blink play a little bit less because it's not as easy to blink into the main base. What I'm referring to here is that you can position your army near your ramp and defend against the blink stalkers and defend your front at the same time. So blink stalker aggression is, you know, we still see blink a lot on this map, but I'm just trying to point out that it's not as easy as it is on some other maps, especially the earlier maps. A lot of the maps in the current map pool are, it's not as easy to blink into the main base and do a lot of damage, especially on you know, maps such as Daybreak, Metropolis, Ohana. Blink play, we still see it a lot, but it's not as easy as it was on some of those older maps where you had this huge area where you could blink into the main base.
Yeah, we are actually seeing like a lot more PvPs go to late game than normal, like compared to like a few months ago anyway. Especially some games showcased in the GSL and GSTL very recently, which has been extremely interesting. But these guys, after that last play, Inori obviously doesn't know much about Hui, and that's really going to hurt Inori there, because obviously Hui's going to sit there and go, okay, I'm playing against this Korean player, I can look up all his VODs, all his previous games, I can look up everything, and really, for Inori to look at Hui, he has to look at the TSL results, which are very centralized and very closed in, so you don't get much out of it.
No, you don't. So that's going to be a little bit of an advantage there. In the game, you know, standard PvP openers going down so far, a few seconds off on that Cybercore timing, but not that different. Double gas going down around the same time as well. We don't see any scouts come out for Hui, which is a pretty risky thing to do, you know, not scouting on this map. This is a map where you can proxy 2 gates in PvP. I was actually practicing that with Fanatics Hearthstone a few days ago, where we would proxy gate each other on this map, and it's not seen as often in professional matches, so it could be something to throw in, you know, every once in a while on this map. It is very effective cheese. And Hui, not scouting anything, you know, he could have been gotten rushed like that.
Well, there's been phases in certain mirror matchups where people haven't been scouting on purpose, and he's trying to get away from this Zealot with that nice parting by Inori. Like, I did believe it was TVT that they just refused to scout for a while, just because they knew their build orders, and then someone brought up something new, and then they had to adjust to it. PvP hasn't really gotten to that stage yet, because you must scout this one. Like, information is absolutely key. We've got that robotics facility going down now for Hui, so a different tech part than last time. He's still trying to get this probe down here, though. Just...
That's a ninja, man, that probe. He's like outthinking every move of Hui, and Inori, he might actually... Nah, he's not gonna get back into the main base. There's a sentry now, and I think that sentry will be able to tickle that probe to death before it really gets to see the tech choices.
I don't know. I think it might actually barely see it. Yep.
Yep. Gets to see the robotics facility. Did he get to see that second gateway as well? Let's see that. Yeah, he got to see the second gateway as well. So Inori, with that one probe, you know, we were just talking about how scouting is so important, and in PvP as well. And Inori gets to see everything, and Hui, he's still absolutely in the dark. He has no idea what Inori is up to.
Yeah, exactly. We do see the robotics facility finishing up here for Inori, of course. He's actually coming around to, up here to his third base, obviously just to check for some proxy pylons that have also been funnily found. And importantly enough, Inori against Gummio did that, and it was just absolutely hilarious to watch, because Gummio went for the standard 1 rack expand, and for some reason he didn't notice that Inori's probe hadn't left his base, and then Inori was like, okay, I'll just 4-gate you then, and suddenly 4 stalkers appear in his main. I was like, yep, game over. So it's a good that he's at least checking this one out. A big misstep by Gummio in that game. But Immortal on the way, 3 gateways, 4 gateways, and robotics in total. Looks like he's going to be sticking to this 1 base kind of play It's been a while since I've seen something like this actually happen in PvP.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this, the War Prism that we saw come out that is now at the bottom of the map, I think Yui made that reactionary. He got one of his sentries trapped between his Cybercore, his Nexus, and his Warp Gate, and I think he just made that War Prism, was like, oh well, my sentry is stuck. Might as well make a war Prism and get that out of here and try to do some harassment with the most unusual drop party you have ever seen. A Sentry, a Stalker, and a Zealot in here.
Well, if he has enough energy on this Sentry, he can get a couple of them. He did have enough energy for a second force field. I think it was a little bit of a mistake, because I would have expected him to drop the force field where he is now, and then another one just slightly to the right to block a heap of probes there. But he does get out without taking any losses anyway. Looking at the workers killed, he got 5 workers killed so far, so definitely worth it in the end. He's always going to have Inori's thinking in the back of his mind about that. The Observer coming through for Inori sees exactly what's going on. We do actually have Gravitic Drive going up for Huey as well.
Ooh, Immortal drops out of Inori here. He researched War Prism speed, and he's loading up 2 Immortals right now. This is so cool. Both players going for the Robotics Blade, but one of them uses it for Colossi, and the other one goes for War Prism speed and puts 2 Immortals in there. And there's only 1 Immortal, a Sentry, and a Colossus here. That War Prism could actually fly over there, target down that Colossus, lift up, and get out of there. We might actually see Inori do that as the War Prism is now flying into the main base.
And here come the Immortals. They are going to target down probes by the looks of it.
Yeah, he's gonna get quite a few. Yeah, how many did he get there? He got 5 in total, 6 right now, so that's definitely a bit of an effective drop here. He's also gonna get that pylon on power gateway and supply.
Oh, if that Colossus isn't careful, you can actually pop forward and actually do a ton of damage to those, even with 2 Immortals. And that is actually supply capped Huey for a little bit here. He comes across, sees the extended thermal lance upgrade, and
the War
both
Prism
War
says
Prisms,
hi.
so yeah. Unfortunately, no real, yeah. Yeah, but that has happened quite a bit before, I've seen. And oh, he's actually coming in. He picks up the Stalker and gets away. That is not what Huey wants to happen. Now there's actually, looking at his army composition, there's 2 sentries. That's the only anti-air he's got. So he can drop these Immortals over and over again and let that hardened shields keep them alive, back out, and let that regen as well. So that is quite nice for Inori. He's, of course, seen the expansion down here as well. And it looks like Inori is ready to move out. He does not want this game to go any further. He is 25 supply up. He's defended against the Yui's Warp Prism harass. He's continuing to do his own, keeping that worker count low.
Very, very low indeed. Unstable. Only 18 workers, 19 workers now on the field for Mr. Yui, and he has the Nexus, but he's not going to have any advantage of having that Nexus. I mean, it's not saturated, and it's basically just 400 minerals doing nothing as Inori is storming across the map with his, pretty big army here. Looking at the army supply tab, 49 supply versus only 34 of Yui, so Yui is going to have a very hard time defending against this.
And his army is completely out of position too. He's completely stuck. He cannot deal with these 2 Immortals without his entire army right now, but at the same time, Inori is coming into the natural. He's going to take out this Nexus. He has to pick his entire probe line or his Nexus. There is no in-between right now for him, and it looks like he's going to give up his Nexus here. But no, he's being very indecisive. These Immortals getting a couple more kills here as well. Picking them up yet again. Huey is now supply capped once more. Down by 20 supply, lost that natural. And this Warp Prism is doing wonders for Inori in this game.
Yeah. This is one of the best Warp Prism usages I've seen to date in a PvP. You know, those Warp Prisms are always annoying, but at some point there are just, 6 Stalkers sitting in the main base, and they can target down that Warp Prism so fast that it becomes a very risky thing to continue doing the Immortal drops. Talking about those Immortal drops again, they are still doing damage in the main base, killing probes left and right. Inori is denying the Nexus at the expansion of Huey, and I'm actually surprised that Inori is not expanding himself. I mean, he's so far ahead, he could just save up 400 minerals and expand and be fine.
Yeah, at the same time, I think he's noticed the timing on the extended thermal lance for Huey, as he did have that Warp Prism go right over it. So he's probably just waiting for that to happen. Of course, we look here, he's only got 2 Colossi, 2 to 3 of Huey, but he does have those Immortals, and here we go, he's going to go for it anyway. Of course, doesn't have extended thermal lance yet, but oh, the Colossus pathing getting caught. Here come the Immortals, take down one of those Colossus extremely quickly, and Huey trying to micro as best he can, but the army supply just isn't there for Huey at all, and these Colossus just walking up. Too many Zealots in the count here, and it looks like Huey is going to fall out of the FX Open Invitational. He's actually picking up the Immortal and dropping it behind the Colossi, and is he going to get away? He is, but it doesn't matter because Inori just hasn't lost his army at all. Oh, he finally lost that Immortal.
Oh, that was such a hero immortal, man. Those two immortals, so let's take a look at the kill count on that as Hui GG's out of the game. That immortal had 16 kills. That was not bad at all. Very well utilized Warp Prism pressure and double immortal drops here by Inori, keeping Hui in his base and just killing off anything he can while he was denying the Nexus. That was very methodical and very well thought out. That was good.
Yeah, exactly. So Inori will go on for a rematch against Gumio, the person who knocked him out in the first match of this group, and to see who goes through to the round of 32. Of course, Marine King has already made it through. Let's see how we go. We do say goodbye to Hui, though. There's no real chance for him to come back anymore. He is out of the tournament. We thank him for showing up and support it and representing Taiwan, but won't be able to see him till the next Invitational. We'll be right back with our final game for Group B in just a minute.